Everybody, hope you're doing well. So I'm sure we've all heard by now. We probably all heard by now that the famous pastor of the Potter's House, T.D. Jakes, is stepping down. Wow. Stepping down. There's been quite a bit of controversy. Remember the controversy about him, allegations that were swarming around the internet streets of him and possibly in the party with Diddy? I thought, man, maybe that's far-fetched. And I thought, well, maybe just a little bit. Then I thought, well, why would a church preacher go there? But see, I had heard, we're talking over 10 years ago, an older lady, a grandmother, she stopped going to the church. She said, again, allegedly, because I never been to the Potter's house. I've never been there. But at the time, the woman was saying, to her knowledge, because she had a granddaughter, let her tell it. That's how she found out that someone who looks like the man on the screen here, she said that the person, the preacher, was allegedly going out of town, taking trips, flying on a private jet. And she said at that time, it was nothing but young girls on the jet with the preacher. That's what she said. I cannot confirm or deny. But she was like, oh, he's no good. I got a granddaughter. And that was what her allegation, her statement was, that he allegedly had young girls flying on jets and going all kind of places and just having a party. Okay. I was like, huh. That's what Meemaw said, a grandmother said. Okay. So, a couple of months ago, I remember hearing about Duane Youngblood. We probably already heard this before. He was referring to T.D. Jakes. Okay, so gonna go ahead and play this clip real quick about what he said. Bishop Jakes. So you can see, I'm gonna shut up my big mouth. He said close to Bishop Jakes, and he's going to talk about his alleged encounter. Friend that got kind of close with Bishop Jakes. And we decided in one of the times he was there, it was going to be his birthday. I was able to convince my mother to let me drive her car as I didn't have a vehicle. I said, well, we're going to take him out to eat. I want to drive your car. And so we did. We took him out to eat. And it was decided after we were done taking him out to eat that I would be the person to take him back to his sleeping place, which at the time there was a lady named Sister Giles. She always wanted to house and take care of him when he came to that church. And so I came in there, drove him to eat, and then took him back to her home. Well, after taking him back to her home, he says, come on in, let's talk. You can't even imagine being 18, 19 years of age. This person is killing it, and they're saying to you, come on in, let's talk. And so I did. I went in. We sat down at a very long dining room table in a room that she had. And for 2 hours, it was unbelievable. Pouring of heart, crying, him talking about my father. We talking about these scenarios. And I inwardly just knew I had finally found someone who could get it. Someone who understood. So keep in mind, he said he found someone who could get it. I think maybe what T.D. Jakes was trying to get allegedly might have been different to what he was thinking. Because it looks like, based on what this man is saying, maybe the other party was trying to get something else going. I'm sitting at this table, and for the first time talking to any man, I got tears coming down my face because somebody gets me. Somebody understood what I was going through. Well, after sitting there and having this long discourse with him, I finally look at my watch and I'm like, oh my goodness, I got to go. I got to get this car back to my mother. She's going to kill me. So I said to Bishop, I got to get up.
And I got up from the table. He got up from the table. He walked around toward the way I had to exit quicker than I got over there. And when I started to walk past him, he pulled me to himself, wrapped his arms around me, and tried to kiss me.
Say what now?
Over there. And when I started to walk past him, he pulled me to himself, wrapped his arms around me, and tried to kiss me. And in that moment, I literally died.
This was what reportedly around 40 years ago. 40 years ago. Then the man on the screen, the pastor allegedly, what is this, a Youngblood, Duane Youngblood, they're saying, hey, what he experienced, so you turn around and you do the same thing to other young men, and you're saying that, hey, that happened to, that you allegedly did that because what happened to you. So what TD Jakes brought to you, got it. And see, here's one thing. That's why it's so important, parental involvement. Where was this man's father? Not saying he could have stopped it, but my opinion, when you have a one parent home, and we know the black woman is carrying the church in the community, they're carrying on their backs. Without the black woman, the church, there wouldn't be one. Okay, let's be real. But this right here, to me, I think a lot of these young, women are like, oh, go with the pastor. He's going to be, a good example for my son. There's no father in the home. And sometimes you may be putting your child in the hands of a predator. No protection. Someone who's there. You're older. You're a teenager. You need to have your father in your life to be there, to have those conversations with. So what happens? They gravitate toward any man. And you don't think that these men, speaking in general, any predator on any child, they know it's only one parent. There's no protection. There's only one parent. Remember the video I did years ago? I mean, not years ago, like last year, about the man. He was a S.A.er. He was even on the list. And what? They still had him in the church singing and swinging, playing that piano, singing and swinging. But then one of the girls make an allegation at the church. That's okay, singing and swinging, singing and swinging. So desperate for male leadership. And I think when you're so desperate for male leadership, male validation, you grasp it. You fall for anything. Fall for anything. This right here, if this man that had maybe a strong father in the home, you wouldn't be so, in my mind, possibly gullible to gravitate to a man who pays you attention. That's not what you're getting. Same thing for the women. Want that male attention so bad. He understands me. Uh-oh. He gets me. Look like he might have been trying to get at something else. Unbelievable.
To walk past him, he pulled me to himself.
So he said Jakes pulled him to himself. Pulled him to himself. Trying to kiss him. Trying to kiss him. Wow.
Wrapped his arms around me and tried to kiss me. And in that moment, I literally died. I could not. I tell you, to this day, I can't remember how I got out of that place. But I remember driving home with all kinds of crazy thoughts and what in the world am I going to do now? And I finally get home, get in the house, get in the bed. I'm going to try to go to sleep.
Well, that right there had to have been traumatic for him. Had to have been. That alone, it had to have been traumatic for him. I don't see how it wasn't. Let me start this over. That had to have been, as they say, hella traumatic. He probably thought, oh, and the first hit my mind, I wonder if he was thinking, oh, father figure. Oh, this is the church pastor. It's an honor to take him home. I wonder if that's what he was thinking. I really do. Again, I think just so eager for male validation that these things can easily happen.
He pulled me to himself, wrapped his arms around me, and tried to kiss me. And in that moment, I literally died. I could not. I tell you, to this day, I can't remember how I got out of that place. But I remember driving home with all kinds of crazy thoughts and what in the world am I going to do now? And I finally get home, get in the house, get in the bed. I'm going to try to go to sleep. To walk past him, he pulled me to himself, wrapped his arms around me, and tried to kiss me.
Because I think he knew you probably from a fatherless home. The mother is so into the church. Oh, yes. So into the church. Preach, preacher. Oh, yes. Oh, uh-huh. And there's no father or strong role model in your life. So believe it or not, it makes you vulnerable. But we don't want to talk about that because we got this. No, we don't. Makes you vulnerable. Not to negate what happened, of course not. But I just want to add that in. This was months ago. This is the same guy. I don't know if you remember, but I remember. This is the same guy who said he recalls when he first said that he was going to sue Pastor T.D. Jakes. I recall watching a video of him saying that he had gotten a call allegedly from T.D. Jakes. And basically, it came off like he was being offered, to me, like a kept woman. Yeah, it's going to be me and you. You got to be exclusive. You think? He said he received this call from T.D. Jakes. That's what the video was saying, what he was saying on the video. To have an exclusive relationship because allegedly Jakes let him know that he was still sleeping with his wife and he wanted to make sure that he didn't bring anything home. Instead, it makes me wonder too. People think it's like people may think oh, that poor wife, and that's sad. But let's be real. Do you really think some of these women don't know how to? That lady Sarita, this is an older couple. That lady Sarita, they've been married for like, oh my God, who knows? They've got grown kids. They probably been married maybe 30, 40 years or something. As I understand, they got married young. So here's the other thing. You think the wife didn't know? I find that hard to believe. Just my opinion. You think the wife doesn't know? It's like a side chick. You think she don't know? Like, oh girl, oh, I wouldn't have that. Of course you wouldn't have it because you ain't got the right contract. You think she don't know? Sometimes it could be a little shocking, but sometimes you got to understand. What did that man saying? It was some guy on TV and he was like cheating, doing his thing. And it's like, the girl's like, I'm going to tell your wife. I'm going to tell. Man, please. That woman, what did he say? Go right ahead. Because he said his wife was a power, WHORE. Which means, girl, you ain't doing nothing. She's after the lifestyle. So that's her trade-off. She can buy whatever she wants, go travel, go out of the country, shop, beautiful mansion. He said, go right ahead. His wife, he said, is a power, WHORE. And she ain't going nowhere. So if you're not happy with your side chick status, girl, you ain't blowing up nothing. And I'm gonna go and tell. I'm gonna go and tell. And that's what Becky did. I'm gonna talk with you, with your husband, what he's doing. What did she say? If that's she said, oh, you're not the first, won't be the last. And if that's the price I have to pay to be Mrs. So-and-so, then I'll take it. I get whatever I want. Ooh, side chick, crunch in your face. Life is business. So this here, married that long, do you think the wife, and maybe it is. I cannot confirm or deny. I think I just said allegedly. But I don't think in all these situations that the wives are just, oh my gosh, out the blue, oh my gosh. Sex, sometimes these wives, just speaking in general, because I don't know neither party, you don't know what all they're doing. I had a little sweet Miss Princess, and they had gotten married and what have you, and the kids, and she was just so sweet until she told me, yeah, cute little sister, and you did. If anybody had told me, I wouldn't have believed it. Yeah, and I did this, and so I had my little, and that was my little fling, and I'm like, not you. Yeah, that was my little fling. It's a one-time thing, and that's it. And I'm happily. Oh, okay. If she hadn't told me, I would have not believed it. I just wouldn't have. I just wouldn't have believed it. But I see. She told me that was her little fling. And you look at them, a young, nice couple in their 30s, so cute, and the children, and okay. But this right here, wow. And now he's stepping down. That's got to be hard. Because, see, from what I understood, they had that when they had like a little booty bump for what is it? What do they call it? Storefront for a church, and built this up. In my opinion, I'm not against religion, but you're selling hope. Give me all your money, and you gonna get yours on the other side. But why do I have to give y'all my money? Oh, so one at the top can get the big piece of chicken and live really well? That's happening in some circumstances. Some churches do good. I heard about somebody approaching him years ago, needed some help. They needed some financial help. And the person said they were told, you got to be a member of the church. They asked if you're a member of the church, and they said no. Well, you got to be a member and a member so long before they help. And I'm like, wow, that big church, the Potter's House. And I'm like, wow, that is just, you got to be freaking kidding me. Somebody's asking you for like money for food, dude. Lady, go call the Catholic. They help people with, from what I've seen, money with food. And what is this thing they also do with utilities? There are also other churches, black churches, I'm sure, that do the very same thing. But wow, they went to the big mega church thinking they were going to get some help. Not. Interesting. So he's stepping down. Wow, look at this. Now lawsuits flying. Maybe that's why a lot of men don't go to the church. I think with women it's more emotional. And want a man to believe in, so they sure gonna believe in pastor or pastor porch. I gotta believe in him. Yes, say it. Oh, look at all that with Eddie Long. All that was going on, and some of the folks left. I think a lot of people left, but there was still some hanging on to Pastor Eddie Long, hanging on to Pastor Eddie Long. He did no wrong. He did no wrong. Pastor Eddie Long. Yeah, okay. God's coming for. He taking me out chips, honey, and he wants to help me. What they said? Who this? I just kind of find it hard to believe that in some of these cases that the wives don't know. Well, she didn't do anything. You don't know what she doing. I'm just saying. I'm not making allegations. It's got to be an upside in the marriage, and the upside might be the money, the prestige, the power, the financial power. They're not trying to get a job. They're looking for some prosperity. Where there's smoke, there's fire. So now, making me wonder. I think Truth for Sarah had hit on that. Making me wonder. What this? Was you at that Diddy party? Were you getting your party on? What were you doing? Is that what you're doing? Interesting. Here we are. More drama. This day and age, you got to be very careful. People think, oh, the church going to be the saving grace. You got to be very careful, especially when you have children, sons and daughters. And the thing about it, when I notice, from what I can see, when you speak about this here with people, that's why everyone's different. I'm not knocking religion, but you don't get me out, oh, and this person sure is a Christian. Okay, and that's really nice, good for you, but that doesn't move me. Everybody different. I don't go, oh, we gotta be extra, it's a Christian. No, I will treat all people with respect. But what I have noticed in this religion, what I've seen, is that when you have these issues with young people, and you're saying, oh my gosh, this happened, be a female, and especially in the Black community, never believed. Oh, she must have did something fasted. What about the adult male, though? Should he be in control of himself? It's not believed. Again, like the video I did before, I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. A known sex offender, they got him plucked on the piano. The church knows about it. He's still staying, what, singing and swinging, singing and swinging. But then one of the girls say he allegedly touched her. So if he was on the sex offender list prior to coming to the church, it is not highly unlikely that she is, not being truthful. You think? Broken community. So yeah, so when I hear that, what what the guy said, where my purse? Where my purse? Get your purse. Oh, and it's a good old Christian. Uh-huh. That's nice. But it just doesn't move me. Because I've seen what some of the good old Christians can do. And there are some people that are good, but to be Christian, I've seen some do, and I hate to say it, I've seen some do something good, try to help people, living up to their belief, and then that's the one that it just seems to go bad. You try to help, wow, look what all they did. You're housing and feeding, because you're going to be a good Christian person, and wow, look, you end up getting hurt. But this here, 2025 is going to have a heck of a strange vibe. What do you all think? Where there's smoke, there is fire. The fact that he's stepping down, to me, speaks volumes. It really does. And it goes to show you, you have to be very careful with your children. I don't care what he shows the reverend, the deacon. Yeah, and this person is a man. The question is, do you know what type? Because what they're portraying to you, they may portray something differently to a younger person. So I remember this guy saying he got that call from TD Jakes, and he was saying that, hey, he was making it seem that the conversation went as if um, it was presented like, like a mistress or a kept woman. You're going to be a side chick. It's got to only be me, because he was still allegedly sleeping with his wife. So you can't be, out there gallivanting with different ones, because he was like, I'm still sleeping with my wife. So I remember seeing that video and I was like, wow, bomb dropper. So many, I don't get a chance to do a video myself, but given that Jakes has stopped stepping down reportedly and all this drama, I thought about that. Where is the protection from the home to the church and the community? This is the world that we live in.
As him, he pulled me to himself, wrapped his arms around me, and tried to kiss me. And in that moment, I literally died. I could not. I tell you, to this day, I can't remember how I got out of that place.
And then, based on other information, you allegedly turned around and caused other people the same fate? All because of your encounter, allegedly, with TD Jakes? Wow. And the cycle continues. It's not uncommon. The cycle continues. Let me know what you all think. Thanks for watching. Feel free to comment, like, subscribe, and share, and I'm out.